speak life into those things.
I feel it.
Fast forward to
Michael B.
come
Jordan.
back.
Let's be honest, guys. Michael B. Jordan is on an incredible run right now. He's become one of the biggest names in Hollywood, built an impressive career as both an actor and producer, and it seems like almost every opportunity is available to him. But it wasn't always like that. Just like a lot of men watching this, his journey came with challenges. There were times when people doubted him, when success wasn't guaranteed, and when he had to work his way up from the bottom. Many of us know what that's like, struggling to make ends meet, dealing with setbacks and trying to build something while nobody else sees the vision. But you keep going, you stay consistent, and eventually things begin to change. Now think back to those women you were interested in before you reached your goals. Maybe you sent a text that never got a reply, or asked someone out only to hear excuse after excuse. At the time, they weren't interested. But that was then, and this is now. A lot of men can relate to Michael B. Jordan's story. Through hard work and persistence, he climbed to the top. And now, some of the people who overlooked him in the past seem to be looking at him a little differently. Take Drew Sidora, for example. She was reportedly one of Michael B. Jordan's early relationships. The two dated for a period of time, met each other's families, and by all accounts, seemed serious. Eventually, though, the relationship ended, and Drew later married Ralph Pittman Jr. Since then, her personal life has received a lot of public attention, including her divorce. More recently, during an interview, she was asked whether she'd ever consider reconnecting with someone from her past. Would you circle back with anyone? She responded that if the right person reached out, she'd be open to answering the call. That response immediately got people talking, with many online joking that yesterday's price isn't today's price. Now let's move on to another well-known name in the entertainment industry, Keke Palmer. Keke had already established herself as a successful performer long before Michael B. Jordan became one of the biggest names in Hollywood. She started acting at a young age, appearing in major television and film projects while still a teenager. By the time Michael's career was taking off, Keke had already built an impressive resume, along with opportunities in both acting and music. At that stage, many people would have considered her the bigger star. There's no denying that Keke Palmer is talented and widely recognized for her work. Throughout much of her career, she's also spoken about taking on significant responsibilities for her family from a young age. Some commentators compare that experience to actresses like Meagan Good, who also entered the entertainment industry early and carried major professional responsibilities while growing up. The speaker argues that those experiences may have shaped the way Keke approached relationships over the years. Despite her success, he believes she hasn't consistently found a partner who matched her in terms of career or public profile. Keke later entered a relationship with Darius Jackson, and the two welcomed a child together. Their relationship eventually ended, becoming a frequent topic of discussion online, while both continued moving forward with their separate lives. More recently, Keke invited Russell Wilson and Ciara onto her podcast, where the conversation turned on what she looks for in an ideal partner. She explained that she wants a man who fears God, genuinely lives by his faith, and treats his family, friends, and co-workers with respect. She also said she values someone who has a clear sense of purpose and knows where they want to go in life. The speaker responds by arguing that people's expectations in relationships often change over time, especially after past experiences. In his opinion, it's common for someone to reassess what matters most after going through difficult relationships. He also points out that Keke has spent more than 2 decades in the entertainment industry, building a successful career during that time. The speaker then discusses Keke's publicly shared comments about her personal life and relationships, noting that she has previously spoken openly about her sexuality and dating preferences. His overall argument is that despite fame, opportunities, and a wide range of dating possibilities, finding a lasting relationship can still be difficult. In his view, success and popularity don't automatically guarantee personal happiness, and that's the point he's trying to make before moving on to the next part of the discussion.
That it's cool with me being me. That doesn't mean not respecting and honoring him, but just having my own world, being able to do my own stuff, show
independent.
Independent,
Yes,
you know what I mean?
respect your independence.
Now, I think this was the most interesting part of the conversation. Kiki explained that she wants a relationship with a man who is comfortable allowing her to continue living the life she's built for herself. I touched on this idea earlier because, in the speaker's opinion, women like Megan Good and Keke Palmer have spent much of their lives carrying major responsibilities and operating with a high level of independence. Having built successful careers from a young age, they've often been the primary decision makers in both their professional and personal lives. Because of that, the speaker argues that it would be unrealistic to expect someone like Keke Palmer to suddenly adopt a completely different dynamic in a relationship. In his view, she's not looking for someone who will come in and completely reshape the way she's lived for years. Instead, he believes she wants a partner who respects the independence she's always had and is comfortable with the lifestyle she's already established. He contrasts that with relationships where one partner steps into an already established structure, using Beyoncé and Jay-Z as an example of a different type of celebrity relationship. His point is that Keke appears to be looking for someone who understands her career, respects her autonomy, and accepts that she intends to continue making many of her own decisions. He goes on to say that this is one reason entertainers, professional athletes, and musicians often date within their own industries. In his opinion, people with similar careers tend to better understand the demands of public life, busy schedules, and the independence that often comes with that lifestyle. Because of that shared experience, he believes they're sometimes better equipped to understand one another's expectations in a relationship. From the speaker's perspective, Keke's expectations aren't especially surprising given everything she's experienced throughout her career. He says he's followed celebrities for years, so her comments don't stand out to him as unusual, although he acknowledges that many viewers may see the situation differently. The conversation then moved to another quality Keke said she values in a partner. She explained that she wants someone who genuinely loves and accepts her son, emphasizing that any future relationship would also involve embracing her child as an important part of her life. The speaker points out that this request makes sense considering Keke is a mother. He also notes that she was discussing the topic while sitting alongside Ciara, whose husband, Russell Wilson, is often praised publicly for the relationship he has built with Ciara's eldest son. From that perspective, the speaker suggests Keke may see that kind of family dynamic as something she'd like in her own future relationship. However, he says the next part of the conversation is what really caught his attention.
It's just like how you said when be, that's how Leo be. Ready to, mama, go to your room.
Oh, who you?
Go to, and I be going though.
The speaker then raises another point. He argues that if someone expects a future partner to take on a positive role in a child's life, there also has to be room for that person to help provide guidance and establish healthy boundaries. Using Keke Palmer's parenting moments as an example, he suggests that if a young child regularly talks back to a parent without correction, it could create challenges in a future relationship. He imagines a situation where a future partner steps in after hearing the child speak disrespectfully to his mother and calmly says something like, "That's your mom, you need to speak to her with respect." According to the speaker, he believes that kind of situation could quickly become complicated if the new partner isn't given the authority to reinforce those lessons. In his view, that's one reason some men hesitate to date women with children, not because every situation is the same, but because they worry about being expected to provide support and guidance without having any meaningful role in parenting decisions. He emphasizes that he's not saying every single parent household operates this way, but rather that this is one of the concerns some men have when entering those relationships. His point is that if someone is expected to be a provider, mentor, or father figure, there also needs to be mutual agreement about how the child will be raised. The conversation then shifted back to the podcast, where Ciara encouraged Keke to stay positive and continue speaking the kind of relationship she wanted into existence. Ciara talked about the importance of believing in what you're looking for and remaining optimistic about the future. As Keke responded, the discussion eventually turned toward Michael B. Jordan, whose name came up more than once. That immediately caught the speaker's attention because he connected it to another recent story involving Drew Sidora. In his opinion, both situations reflected a similar pattern of successful women publicly expressing interest in a man whose career has reached another level. The speaker argues that Michael B. Jordan now occupies a position where he has many options, making him one of the most sought-after men in Hollywood.
Because of that, he questions what someone like Keke Palmer or Drew Sidora would realistically bring to a relationship with him that he doesn't already have. He also explains that as he's gotten older, he's become more respectful of people's dating preferences and personal standards. At the same time, he believes relationships involve mutual value, and both people have to bring something meaningful to the table. From his perspective, that's why he doesn't believe Michael B. Jordan has much incentive to pursue either situation. His conclusion is that Michael B. Jordan's response, whether intentional or not, is simply to remain silent and continue focusing on his own life. The speaker closes by tying the discussion back to a familiar saying, "Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me." In his view, that's the theme connecting everything he discussed throughout the video. So what do you think about the situation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back again with another episode of Celebrity Junk. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.